So I know, I didn't do anything with this last week. I'm sorry. Also, moving the window around, gotta have the crazy audio issues that happen from that. Alright. They might be saying, why, oh why, does Jaguar, the previous pacifist, happen to be sitting here with a hood over his head, a weird ring that gets rid of magical stuff, and a shotgun? Well, here's the thing. Last time, we came to the kind of obvious conclusion that, technically speaking, the only way to continue on with this fight, well, would be with Jaguar having to be able to actually fight, for once. This is probably going to be the only time when this actually ever happens. For the rest of it, I do want to stick to that rule where he never participates in a fight. But here's the funny thing. Technically speaking, last time I was introduced to the actual numbers involved in this game a little bit. Because truth be told, I usually don't pay attention to the super nitty-gritty, like, little numbers going on in the background unless it's, like, movement or something like that. So what we were working with before was a knife, specifically the limitation I had given him before. And I mentioned if this came up, we'd be doing something a bit differently, but the limitation that we had here was that he was using the paralysis knife, or just any knife that gave some generalized debuff. The best thing would have been if I picked up a whatever the hell the earth knife is, the one that petrifies. If I picked up one of those and had the earth close and everything else and just, like, completely stacked earth elemental stuff, that would probably do the most damage that I could get out of him, but I don't feel like going back and redoing all that stuff just yet. Because I think there's an opportunity to get this done just kind of as we are right now. Because here's the thing, okay, so theoretically, his physical attack, it can go as high as it friggin' needs to. So, for example, with the knife right here, apparently his actual, oh wait, uses weapon power only. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. We're gonna go ahead and switch him over to something different then. Oh, well, I mean, we don't really care about the truth so much as getting you to the end. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch him over to a mercenary. I think that one can actually equip katanas. Yes. Okay, so this is the other backup option here. So this katana right here. Basically has a chance of double attack, 20% evasion, and 12. So basically we're doing physical times attack. We need to be able to do about 500 in a single hit, and I need to be able to stack a bunch of other abilities, but this will have to do for now. So it looks like we can get all kinds of nifty things out of this, so we don't really need that so much. That armor, probably fine. I believe it's actually the best we can even have right now. Cancels Holy, so that's going to get rid of a lot of Wiegraf's abilities. Sprint shoes, because he's going to be running around in friggin' plate armor and Nikes, because why wouldn't you? And alright. let's set some other stuff here. Switch him over to auto regen, so that he just, kind of does that off in the background. And I think we're going to go for this instead of fly. I think that's actually what I did last time. Keeps him well out of range as kind of whenever he really needs to. So this should give him far and away enough tankiness to be able to do really anything that I need him to. So the plan here is just like before. We're just going to continue singing over and over and over until he has enough physical attack to just, like, run up and one-shot stuff. So, yeah, generally speaking, this should go a lot better than last time. So we'll go for all of the toppest of tier Rodans, and in fact we're actually going to go for the chicken off in the background here, just because last time they got insta-nuked. They didn't even really get a turn off. So, ideally multiple Rodans, going like this, maybe like this. Alright. So quick save drive before going into this. There actually was supposed to be a new version that came out, but thankfully it actually didn't, and I say thankfully because I don't know what kind of new potential rules might have changed there, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and skip through this cutscene here, as we do. It's going to be a shorter one today, just for anyone that might be here yet that isn't showing up in the count. Basically, like I mentioned, new work stuff starting, so I actually have a schedule again. It's great. Well, I mean, I guess a schedule in which I can't just shuffle stuff around and kind of throw it down the blender, as it were. Because typically my schedule is just like, here's a crap load of stuff I plan to get done today. Let's just grind it all down until we eventually get it all done. So now it looks like we might be getting back into life proper. So first things first, I'm going to want him singing probably Battle Song. Actually, no, I'm going to start off with Nameless. Even though he doesn't need it just yet, I'm just going to have him start off with that. He's going to stick well out of range. And I'm going to want him to keep going nameless over and over and over. He can't really lose this fight as it stands. It's like, okay, he's got regen. That doesn't really do very much for us. That's fine. What I want is re-raise. So I'm going to pick up the re-raise on him early, so we're not worrying about that later. So I want to get re-raise. Before we go into the final fight, I'll try to pick up a protect and a shell. If we don't get them one after another, I'm probably just going to settle for just a shell. I mean, right now it doesn't matter. Right now I just want the re-raise. And then after that we'll just start spamming PA. Man. Nameless actually hits 3 times in a row? What the hell's going on here? Unacceptable. Alright, let's move way over here, because he's friggin' Sonic fast at this point. And actually, a cool thing that happened. Apparently, Rumza is going to be switching palettes or some along them lines. Alright, cool. It's neat that it landed 4 times, but if I could get the effect that I wanted, the only permanent one, that'd be dandy. And it's going to miss. Alright, cool. That's fine. That's fine! Whatever. He can't really do much anyway. I mean, silence doesn't matter in this case. He's got permanent regeneration for all intents and purposes. Because of how much armor he has, he basically will be able to just ignore any damage Wiegraf does. He's recovering about 50 per tick, or 56 per tick, so yeah. He's getting 2 turns at the time Wiegraf gets 1. We're going to be able to up that more later. Unfortunately, I don't have too many speed boosting abilities, but he's got enough, you know. He's got enough to be able to just completely ignore his damage. Last time I was going for Life Song. We're not going to need that this time. He can't really go for anything other than Lightning Stab, because Rums is actually immune to Holy. So if he's got Holy Explosion or whatever, it won't matter. That's one that could have potentially caused a lot of problems, because it would cause confusion. Well, I say a lot of problems, but it's only 1v1, so its effect couldn't last. Unless he decided to just douche it out in the back of the corner and just kind of leave it at a permanent stalemate or something. It's probably pretty unlikely. Can I get that re-raise now, please? My goodness. Can you just not remember the lines or something? Well, I guess you can't really store much sheet music up in that weird hairdo you got going on. But yeah, already well past full health. He'll get another lightning stab off eventually. I mean, realistically, I probably could just have him sit in one place, and he'd be able to do absolutely nothing. There we go, re-raise. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, but re-raise doesn't work in a 1v1. That's because it's not for now. All of this, and I should probably down this volume a little bit, because dang, that feels loud. All of this is just setting up for later. So what I'd like to do is set him up on those top tiles there. If I recall correctly, he'll get reset no matter what, but I believe it's right here that I want him to be, because I believe they spawn here, 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 and here. So if I were to get him right here, for example... Now, again, I'm pretty sure he gets reset no matter what you do, but I just want to kind of test this out. So for the rest of this fight, I'm going to have him sitting in one spot, because, again, there's physically nothing that the Wiegraf can do here. And his damage will be, I believe it was just basically weapon damage times physical. So he should be able to get up to 999 if we do this long enough. Once he gets up to 99 physical bonus. He just sings so hard, he basically... You know, he's just sitting here singing Glory Hammer over and over. I'm going to go ahead and go with that. By the way, I decided to just go ahead and add commands for those songs. So if you want Glory Hammer, it's !Glory. And if you want the one that I keep naming X Division stuff after, it's !1992. But anywho, felt like I had to. I keep referencing those things, and so far nobody's brought it up. Like, dang it! Somebody go listen to that music. It's so much better than it has any right to be. And yeah, the funny part about this is that even if he does get the silence off, silence doesn't affect singing for some reason. Who knows why? It just doesn't. Oh man, this poor bastard. He goes through so much trouble to just become a dang near demigod over here. It's like, why can't I do anything? This is crap. Sorry, I had to respond to a message real quick. Man, those dang fart trumpets making them all strong. Fart trumpets too strong. You know, I keep wondering if someday some SRPG out there will potentially, I don't know, maybe they'll figure out the whole 1v1 thing. Like, I feel if somebody put together an SRPG that was like a mix between Vagrant Story and Super Hot, like, just something like that would be so incredible here. Like, instead of, you know, going for specific speed scores or whatever else, it's just like, it technically happens in real time, but you just basically pause it and put out all your commands and everything, and you're trying to get all that stuff done. And yes, some newer RPGs do that, but they never seem to do it quite right. It's like it always gets way too carried away with the numbers instead of keeping it simple. And yeah, this guy will eventually just run out of damage here. I'm not sure why he's doing 99 as opposed to the 59 he did before. It's weird. Oh, it's because I had Shell up, that's why. I mean, it doesn't matter. He regens fast enough that it barely matters anyway. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. And yeah, I think with the next turn we'll just go ahead and move over to the left there. Then he can't do anything. Rude bastard. Just sit here and regenerate. Get all infinite strong. But yeah, due to the relative shortness of how we're doing stuff today, due to the, you know, the odd hour and everything else, I'm not sure there'll be too many people talking, but we'll see. Once everything gets settled, it's looking like like I might just be doing short ones, or maybe boiling everything down to some shorter times, I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Ideally, I'd like to, like, maybe do 2 short ones per day or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, he's almost at lightning stabs, but this little recovery was all I really needed. That recovery, though. Now, technically speaking, I could also just continue this on, rather than just continuing on with only PA bonuses. I kind of wonder if I left it long enough, if I might get an extra speed bonus from way too many level ups. Like, if I just got him all the way up to level 99 here. Because, yeah, what I should be doing is... Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, show off experience, off. Show effect, off. Show ability name, that's fine. Actually, we'll show effect messages, why not? Navigation messages, off. Message display speed, fast. Finger cursor speed, get fingering way faster there. Cursor speed on multiple heights, whatever, we'll leave that. Alright, there we go. Now we should just be able to wait repeatedly. If I could turn off the effects entirely for that ability, that probably would be a lot faster, but oh well. Man, does he have move MP up or something? Could have sworn he already burned himself through his lightning stabs. Oh well, doesn't matter. Yeah, there we go. He's out of MP for sure. Definitely drained. I love how the main strategy in this fight is just always to troll the hell out of this guy. It's both unfortunate and hilarious. As all things should be. That's adorable. But yeah, 90 we'll definitely recover out of. 99 we were still recovering out of, but you know. We're going slightly under, I guess. Just slightly. Unfortunately, there isn't any way to really boost speed anymore. Actually, I could just go haste, now that I think about it. I probably should just repeatedly set up haste. Yeah, out of curiosity, how does Night Sword look? Because I think I can, I think it counts for physical. Yeah, doing 264 with that right now. At 22, so yeah, we got a long way to go. So we can keep that train rolling. So if we're doing 264 right now, then presumably at 44, we should be at 500-ish. So probably what we're aiming for is about 70, give or take. Hell, I might as well just go all the way to 99, just not even to chance it. And realistically, once we get to that point, probably just going to go ahead and quick save it, just so we don't have to do the setup again. Realistically, I know I said realistically a bunch there, sorry about that. But, you know, once we get to that point, it's just more RNG as far as whether all of their abilities decide to hit. Because the current plan is just get it all the way up there, start up within range of being able to run up and smack one of the demon guys. Take out, basically have Shell and have Haste set up right away, but then expect to get knocked out. So I expect him to survive maybe one round of that, because he's got that initial quick turn type situation going on. So he should be able to attack once, swing at one of them, take him out, probably take hits from all of them, barely survive, take out the second one, then probably get taken out by the time that the Rodams show up, and in fact I might as well just keep them completely out of range. Because unfortunately, I mean, I don't have any way to revive them right now. I only have... Actually, no, I have Wish, so this is fine. But so, I keep doing that. And by the way, it looks like one of those level ups decided to give him another bit of HP there. So I get them close. I'll probably have them try to do something. I mean, realistically, it's just going to be all him here. And then once he gets to the point that he can just kind of survive hits, I think what we're going to do here is actually... nice physical attack. Yeah, no. We'll just go Life Song for one round. So I want to get to a really high PA, and then at some point I want to be able to probably just spam Life Song or something like that, and then we'll just keep working on XP over and over. So like right now he's got 50. We're going to keep doing Life Song, because I think it's about 10 XP or so per thing. So if he's doing this 4 times per round, getting 40 XP per round, you know, we should be okay. Then we just basically keep spamming that over and over, because it doesn't seem to scale based on anything else. At least I don't think it does. This is what I want to find out right now. But then, yeah, we just keep doing that until he's like level 50 or some crap. And, yeah, at that point we'll probably have to re-roll all the monsters as soon as we get out of here in order to get their levels up. Yeah, he's already at 80, so yeah, he is getting about 30 per round. 30 to 40, we'll say. Hold on one moment. Man, I gotta say, so for my new work thing here, had picked up this Voxer app to communicate with folks, and gotta say that thing is pretty neat. It's like basically if you've never used it, it's like kind of a ridiculously long-range walkie-talkie thing. But basically, like, mixes together everything that you'd usually expect from a modern messenger kind of thing, and just send whatever with like a little button that just like sends little walkie-talkie messages back and forth. Actually, with surprisingly better clarity than just sending it through a phone. So, gotta say, pretty useful thing. Anyway, didn't mean to have that in, we'll pause there, but it happens. So I'm just gonna continue doing this bit right here. Of course, that now comes with the new benefit of pretty much permanent paranoia that my phone is just always listening to everything I say, but oh well. Such is life, right? Such is life in the modern world. Just fear that you're always being listened to. Dystopia is pretty peaceful. Alright, so just continue getting that thing up here. We've already gotten 2 extra ticks on regen just because of levels going up. We're gonna be doing this for a hot minute. Of course, Wiegraf over here just plain doesn't understand the sheer hacks that is having somebody as a bard. It's like, what do you mean they get to have like 4 times the experience rate? How's that fair? The answer is it isn't. It isn't at all. But yeah, by far, like, Bard Lancer is my favorite thing in this game, in any version. Lancer just because of spears, but just like, Bard is bar none. Well, Bard none, I guess you could say. My favorite thing. Also, it looks like Cerabow is finally announcing that that challenge. Yeah, by the way, when I put that video out, I was honestly thinking it was going to start a couple weeks ago. I thought we were kind of locked in for the 14th of every month, and never really thought to ask, so my bad on kind of announcing that 2 weeks early anyway. Moving on. Such things happen, I suppose. But right now, we're on the 2-hour battle song marathon. And by the way, I just found out that, yeah, it looks like we're actually going to be going a little bit longer. Going to be going an extra hour on this, so we'll have time to beat this guy. Okay, so where are we at right now? 36? Alright, yeah, we should be able to one-shot him at this point. But we're going to continue here singing real good. Glory Hammer, etc. Man, if you've never heard that song, just Google Glory Hammer. It's literally a song called Glory Hammer by Glory Hammer. It's just like, if you ever need a song to hype your day up to the highest that it can ever possibly be, that'll be it. Like, I always have that, and whenever I'm doing everything, I always have some songs that I have in various lists and playlists and whatever else that's just there for the sake of being hype music. And that consistently over the course of the last month, I've just been listening to Glory Hammer and specifically Apocalypse 1992. It's like those 2 songs, man. Just, it's so good. It's so good. It's such nonsense, but like, okay. In case you haven't heard it, the introduction to Apocalypse 1992 is basically a whole like briefing on the story, basically. In which they're like, oh yeah, look, all the best fighters from Earth are hanging out in the space above Mars, going to fight the epic battle against a demon horde or some crap. And then like, meanwhile, there's some wizard trying to bring in some elder god in the center of the Earth, and, like friggin' astral dwarves and crap going to go fight a war against him. It's just like so stupid, but I love it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And by the way, speaking of beautiful things, fans. Air conditioning, sure, but it raises the electricity bill by like $80, and I'd rather not have that happen. So there's like 4 fans, which inexplicably somehow only raise the bill by like $5 to $10. Don't ask me how. Like, you'd think having 4 fans at the same time would somehow drain more energy, but no, you know, it knows. Ooh, 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 ooh. A cool thing just happened. Yes! Okay. Tomorrow, there's going to be a cool thing, because I got approval to try a thing. Let's see. Okay. I need to double check that he understands that that I was intending to stream it. But it sounds to me like there's potential early access to a really awesome thing. So yeah, it looked really cool. There was a strategy game that was coming out. Like, speaking of the whole Elder Gods dealy, it's basically kind of like a what's it? Kind of like an Eldritch RTS of sorts type situation. Or it's unclear exactly what it was, but still. Oh wow, that is a big file size. You're gonna wait a moment, because I need to download that on this computer anyway, and that would basically explode the stream if I tried to do it. But yeah. So it looks like code went through. I'm excited. The first time that that I've actually, well, I guess technically kind of sort of second, but okay, whatever. It's still potentially a second time that I've gotten sent a code to basically show off a thing. I'm excited. I love the chance to do that kind of stuff. It's like go test our thingy, and I'm like, yes, I love testing thingies. Unless there's, unless the thingy makes my computer explode, but then still. Although I do find it funny that all the things that I have actually bought into early access for have actually performed so badly that they, made my computer hurt. But it seems like all the ones that now have offered to let me do stuff, well, they seem to run just fine. I don't know how that works exactly. Oh, you dick! How dare you do slightly more damage? Unacceptable. But yeah, so hang on, what's it called? Yeah, when your Steam list gets so long, you can't friggin' remember what the hell you're even looking at here. But yeah, It Stares Back is the name of the thing. So I'm excited because it looked really cool. So I'm gonna start with testing it there. Cause yeah, let me see here. Let me make sure. So yeah, no, the streaming is understood. So tomorrow we'll be doing that. Get to try a new thing. New stuff is fun. Which, by the way, I still meant to actually go show off more of a Mego Story at some point too, because that one's gotten a bunch of new expansions lately, and then I keep forgetting to set that up right. So yeah, apparently for stuff that runs on Unreal, there's like a weird, or no, was it Unreal? I forget exactly. There were some engines that specifically had a weird issue when they were detected in certain ways through Streamlabs. So the only ones that I've seen that actually had an issue wherein they would basically crash if I tried to combine the two were Mecha Story was one of them, but only under certain circumstances. And then the other was the Pit Infinity, which in both of those cases, they're still being optimized and all that. So, it was to be expected. Now with HS though, I believe that was something that got fixed a while ago, like several months ago. So I'm not 100% certain, but I'd have to check. When I was testing it earlier, it seemed to work just fine. So didn't see any crashes from that. And it would specifically like crash the. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure that was fixed. Alright, looks like Mr. Cerabow is busy. Yeah, I love how I picked the one time where nobody's available. Oh well, such is life. Such is how it goes, That's alright. We're still testing, we're still showing stuff. I mean, realistically, this is about the least compelling part of this run, I guarantee you. Because there's no strategy whatsoever, it's literally... Okay, there is a strategy, it's just... It's basically the screw you stats strategy. Okay, so we're at 55. How much damage do we do at this point? 660 with 66%. Oh my god, I gotta freaking screen cap that. This is some demon numbers right there. Alright, whatever, we're gonna leave it at that though. Getting even more health out of this. So once we get all the way up to the top there, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop... By the way, it's gonna be a little bit laggy because I just want to send that to Cerabow real quick. And for some reason, opening up Chrome next to Streamlabs makes everything explode. Alright, let's see here. Mr. Cerabow. There we go, send you them demon numbers. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to continue waiting here. And yeah, once we get up to 99, because we're a good bit of the way there at this point. And I believe it's actually his physical attack that determines his odds of being able to succeed when doing some of these things, because it seems like his odds are definitely improving. But yeah, once he gets all the way up there, we're just going to switch over to Life Song. He's going to get way more songs off per turn, or at least one extra, at the very least. And yeah, we'll go from there. And although, you know, nobody's really here to reply in the chat here, hopefully comments in the future might be interested in answering this. I'd be curious to see how many folks would be interested in seeing an attempt at a Iron Man. Just basically, supposedly there's a different ending to Vagrant Story if you complete it without ever saving or dying. Although then again, you can't really continue if you die, so I mean, you basically just gotta beat it in one run. Now, I can't really say I'm an absolute expert in the game at this point, but I have been playing it a good bit lately, and would absolutely be on board for learning the hell out of its mechanics to kind of understand all the nitty-gritty of it. So yeah, if somebody wanted to see a no-death run of that, or a no-save run of that, I'd be absolutely on board for doing so. Because, yeah, it's another one of those ones that's just got really interesting mechanics. And yeah, you can break the hell out of that game. Like, honestly, it's... You know, if you've ever watched one of those videos where somebody, like, goes and just, like, absolutely goes, like, friggin' Bane snaps Skyrim over their knee, then, like, it's that. It's basically that. You can do, a more immersive level of that. Like, okay, when you're going through Skyrim and everything else, like, oh man, you know, you're special, but you're still a human. Look at you, special boy, doing special things. And then you get all these crazy superpowers and everything else, and nobody ever reacts. So, like, oh man, you know, I'm gonna go take out this guy that just punched, like, 8 people off a cliff for several miles away. Like, insta-kill, like, unarmed... just, like, ran up naked to a guy, punched them, and their head exploded. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go fight that guy. So yeah, absolutely no caution in their mind whatsoever. But yeah. So something like that. Except, with Vagrant Story, it's like, yeah, you're still a solo character. You're doing your whole dungeon crawling thing and everything else. You got your semi-randomized loot and whatever. But, like, I was telling this to Cerabow yesterday. When there's all these, all these discussions that come up for, like, who's the strongest RPG character or whatever else, I'm surprised Ashley's never on there. Because, like, in universe, it's the only RPG I've ever seen wherein you have the bad guys sitting around strategizing, and one of them's there like, dude, that guy is... I believe the exact term is, that guy is stronger than a Titan, what are we doing here? But, like, in universe, and kind of within the game's mechanics and everything else, he just runs up to something and it dies, like, immediately. Because time stops when he's attacking something. And technically speaking, you can infinitely chain your combos. In fact, speedrunning for the thing pretty much involves running up and infinite chaining stuff. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting game. But like, you basically customize your combos, customize your defensive moves. You know, sometimes you have weird stuff that comes up in terms of reactions and everything else. It's like, it's a real interesting game. That it's a shame that its mechanics weren't copied, like many things that come from this series. And yes, I do consider it part of this series, because I've mentioned before, I consider FFT to be, the Ogre Battle 8 we never got, and I would honestly consider Vagrant Story probably would have been like one of those like episode 1 or 2s or something like that, just because of the way that they've done them. No, the reason that I say that is because if you look at the chronology of the whole series, if FFT was supposed to be OB8, we already have OB7, 6, and 5. So March of the Black Queen was 5, Lucht is 7, OB64 is presumably 5, or presumably 6 in that case. So then that would leave somewhere between 1 to 4 for Knight of Lotus, so presumably Knight of Lotus would be 1, if I were to guess. So presumably it would be 1. You've got, what would it be here? I mean, you've got Vagrant Story or something similar, because he thought about it, obviously. The idea was there. They came out not terribly far away from each other. So the idea was there. Odds are, like most of the stuff that he did at that point, it probably was something related to this. And when Vagrant Story was actually coming out, it wasn't meant, it wasn't like specifically designed around, or the story wasn't specifically designed around those mechanics, as I understand, because it was supposed to be kind of an experiment that allowed Parasite Eve to happen. So they were like, here's the system, make a game for it. Now, ultimately what resulted is something that's an absolute classic. Well, I guess more of a cult classic, as it were. But still. So presumably, again, if I were to guess, I would say it would be either, it would be a 2 to 4 in that case. So then we'd still have 2 missing parts. Presumably, one of them would be, the Nil Demise or something like that. Like maybe going over their whole takeover. So I would assume, if Knight of Lotus was 1, then Nil Demise takeover would have been 2. Or actually, no. You know what? That could have been 4. Because then you have, Vagrant Story as... Oh. You know what? You know what would have made sense? Trying to... theory crap here, right? So KOL is 1. Vagrant Story as 2, except the main character would have been Lance in that case. And just like him during his whole takeover of the capital, because think about it, the setting is pretty similar. There's a similar thing with a, corrupt church basically running around doing stuff and ruining things. It would have made perfect sense during a coup and a war and whatever else. That could work. You know what? If I were to throw that theory out there, I'm pretty sure I could get more details to slap that sucker together. Presumably, Nil Demise's takeover then would have been, 4 or something like that. And then 3... I guess 3 could have been, maybe, it would have been nice to have a story where you actually end up losing in the end. It probably could have been maybe the last stand of whoever was there in Lotus. Because if you think about it, with the whole backstory of the Ogre Battle series and whatever else, the folks that end up being the bad guys weren't technically that, they weren't badly intentioned to start off with. Their whole deal was just the fact that they had a really corrupt country with some okay folks in there, but either way, stuff got really corrupt, and so they basically go in, they take over the government and overthrow everybody, and then realize oh crap, look, we got all these giant armies and crazy artifacts and whatever else at our disposal. Well, I guess it's time for some conquest, and then they go and do that, and basically do it under the guise of spreading around a religion, which actually... You know what, maybe it all would work better if there was a story before KOL. Because, okay, technically the whole spreading the religion thing... No, I'm wrong on that, because the whole spreading around the religion thing happens before KOL. I don't know, I'd have to think about that one. I'd have to think about it, because, yeah, they're already doing that. They're like, okay, Lotus was already spreading its stuff everywhere, but then we had some minor peace, and then this, one random guy got sent to an island to go do some island stuff. And then he goes over and does his whole thing. I mean, honestly, I would have liked... No, I think KOL would have to be the first one, because 8... was supposed to have Lands as one of the playable characters, as I understand, which would make sense. The way that it seemed to be lining up is that by the time you get to 8, you've got all your main characters potentially getting together. Like, if the story were to follow a similar pattern, presumably, the way that I like to think about it would have been like Denim and Destin from Lucht and March of the Black Queen getting together, and then having them doing the whole Ramza and Delita thing, except then winding up on opposite sides, because like Destin's already kind of going a little bit weird by the time you see him in OB64. So if you saw them coming together, like, not as childhood friends, but like, okay, these are both, leaders of armies that have gone through similar stories and whatever else, and, Destin's been around through 2 takeovers at that point. I wouldn't think Magnus would be showing up, because he's probably, sitting back and doing his own thing. They already said that, or they already basically say at the very end of Lucht that the Denim would be the one traveling over. So, either way. So, presumably it would be those two. And then, like, presumably Destin would be coming along and then kind of thinking, like, oh man, this is the 3rd time I'm doing this crap. I'm out. I'm just gonna go do something else. I'm gonna try to go the opposite route here. So it kind of makes sense for him to do a heel turn, I figure. Because he's kind of implied to be the, like, perfect, unequivocal good guy in March of the Black Queen, then sort of stops giving a crap halfway through OB64. He's like, I've seen where this goes, we basically thought we won, everything was great, we thought we got the perfect ending, we did everything right, and it's still just completely fell on our face, so, whatever we do there. But yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Definitely want to theorize about that more a bit later. But yeah, not really much else to discuss while doing this. Oh, that's slightly more damage, you absolute dickhole. Alright. There we go, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to Life Song, probably. Yeah, we're at 83. Yeah, we might as well switch over to Life Song. Alright, there we go. Getting a little bit of health back. Do I have a fast forward button on this? I don't think I do. Spacebar, shift. I mean, I think there's a fast forward button. It's unclear, to be honest. And yeah, I promise that the rest of the run will not turn into cheesing this. Like, right now, I just want to beat this fight. It's the only way I could think of to do it. There were some potential other options, but they would have required a lot of grinding. They would have required basically completely ignoring and skipping back behind the last fight, which I don't like to do. I feel like going back and retreating and redoing it kind of, not directly, but like mentally, it always feels like it disqualifies the run in my mind. I know, it's not like it's actually doing that, but still. I just want to point out our regen started off at 56. We're at 63 already. I think we've gotten, 30 or 40 extra health just over the course of this fight from level ups. And he's almost at 99. So very, very close. And yes, I know there's no need to go all the way up to 99. He's probably doing max damage at this point. I should probably check it. I don't know for sure. He'll get close next round, so I'll probably test it at that point. Lots of mentioning the word points in that point. Man, I'm looking forward to trying it stairs back. So I'm probably gonna go and test some of it tonight, because that looked really, really cool. It looked all nifty-like. Ooh, I got messages. And one moment. Alright, and I'm back. So very, very close at this point. Yeah, it feels weird lately. So I've been putting together little clips here and there for. I was actually going to put out a video in a little bit on basically how to break the entire Ogre Battle series. Simply because I get comments every now and then that come up and say like, oh man, this series is all difficult. You gotta pull out all these little tricks and everything. It's like, man, every single game in the Ogre Battle series is surprisingly simple to utterly snap in half. So yeah, I've been putting together little clips specifically for the PSP remake because I figured that's the one that most folks have played lately, and it was the usual like how to completely overpower archers to the point that they're utterly untouchable. All right, there we go. 999. His accuracy isn't any better, but whatever. That's fine. So at this point we can. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go Life Song. Hang on, let's see here. What's what is SP? I'm not sure what SP is exactly. I think it's just your speed. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go Life Song then. Alright, anyway, so, to finish what I was saying though. So the hilarious part is, like, somebody had left this this feature in that game. That's kind of baffling to me. Like in theory, it should make sense. I feel like in some other games they've probably refined it a bit better. But when they made the PSP game, they're like, okay, you're constantly gaining stats with every single level up of any particular class. Not that unit leveling up, because before the level cap was, the level cap. That was just the end. Your character is done growing, they've reached their maximum potential, and however you grew them, you grew them. But then when they made the PSP game, they're like, but you can train up every single different class. There's no limit until you get every stat to 100. And the funny part is that it takes surprisingly little time to actually completely cheese the hell out of it. Namely, there's this route wherein you take archers. Like, you start off with archers. You just basically set the AI to auto fire and just like have them steamroll the entire first couple chapters. They get all the way up to level 26 right before they hit the wall, and they switch over to a different class. Like, let's say you switch them over to warriors. They're suddenly warriors with short bows. The game has scaled down to make up for their levels, so you give them a couple fights in like a level 1 area. Give them a couple fights so that they get it up there. Their class level continues soaring higher and higher. Their dexterity is far higher than it should be at that point, so they're running around with like friggin' kids' bows for all intents and purposes. Just like one-shotting stuff, and then they get all the stats from that. And okay, warrior stats, they don't really get very much out of it, but whatever, they're still getting stats. So okay, then you switch them to like let's say a beast tamer. They can use short bows, and so then they use those and go through all their stuff. Suddenly they're a lot tougher, they're a lot stronger. Then you switch them over to ninjas, and like, oh, suddenly they're a lot they've got a lot more evasion, they've got a lot more dexterity, as if they already didn't have way too much of it. Because it's a maximum of 100. They start off in the 30s, but then they get like 0.1 to 0.3 per level, per class. And there's like 20 classes you just kind of have lying around. And so literally after a while, it gets to the point where you don't even need to do anything extra. Like at a certain point, all you need to do is just like, oh, what is this? Bizarre. But yeah, at a certain point, you can literally just switch them to any class with anything, and they'll just go around punching stuff. Like, I think, let's see, what the standard damage, like in the early game, is 20 to 30 with a weapon of some description. And yeah, at that point, you just have them punching for 50s and 60s. Like, it just becomes comically overpowered. It's hilarious. It is absolutely priceless. By the way, what did I get his stats to? He's at 91. We might as well cap that out at 99. Actually, no. We're gonna leave it because he's getting more benefit out of these just regular level ups, and these level ups are gonna be very handy. All right. There we go. Oh yeah, so to finish the story that I was going on there. So by this point, in capturing those video links and whatever else, I'm at the point of doing Palace of the Dead. Because if you there's a few people out there that just make regular videos out of breaking games and things like that, and I just figured, yeah, for the Ogre Battle series, I know a hell of a lot about it at this point, so might as well show it off. And I was actually going to do one for OB64, though we're actually going to be streaming that one. Anywho, but yeah, so at this point, they've gone through almost every single class. The main goal of the thing was just like, what is the easiest possible way that you can actually get the Ambition, just with like no effort whatsoever, and it's just basically how to cheese the entirety of the whole game. Because yeah, there's so many little systemic exploits all over the place that are a little bit confusing at first, but God, the game just completely bends over after a while. Like, honestly, after you pass the level 30 wall, there's just those couple fights at the level 30 wall. Once you get past that, it's just off to the races. Like right now, I just left the game plugged in. It's just running through Palace of the Dead automatically. I don't even have to do anything. It's even the fights that's just like all undead dragons or whatever else. They do so much damage, it just ignores all their armor. So they're just basically like shooting stuff that refuses to die to get maximum ranks over and over and over and over. Just like I think only a couple of the characters even have like basic elemental bows at this point. Everyone else is just running siege bows, and it doesn't even matter because their stats are so high that they're just ignoring defense. But it's just weird going back to this, where you're cheesing up your stats to a crazy degree, but you're not getting actual resistances or anything out of it, which is it's just a better way of handling it, honestly. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So he's already 40. He came in here at like level 20 or something. 26, I don't know, something along those lines. So I don't want to cheese it too hard here, because we could go all the way up to 50 if I wanted to. Honestly, we might as well. Yeah, I think he's even getting extra speed at this point. I have to look at his numbers. The only scary part is, actually, I wonder if the boss is gonna stay in its current state or if it's gonna spawn as a higher level now. Have we cheesed too hard? I don't know. Yeah, speed, I think it was 7 when he came in, so I think he got some extra speed. So, alright, let's do this. We want to go nameless, so I want to get haste and I want to get shell. Hi there, Evan. What time is it? It is now. It is exactly now time. Also, it's time for 91 physical strength. Yeah, his physical attack is almost maxed out. He does 999 with everything. And yeah, there's the potential for double hits with this weapon that he just kind of had sitting around. So right now, we should be able to just about finish up here. So I'm at the point that, yeah, he can one-shot. Picked up where he left off? Yes. It's entirely just been cheesing the game up to this point. So I want 3 things here. I want shell to start off here. You might be wondering, yeah, there we go. There's shell. And now I'm gonna go ahead and need haste. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and switch over to guts and do not that. Yell. There we go. So we got shell. We're gonna have pick up haste here, and then I'm going to drop a save state, because what I need... I should have waited one more turn. Crap. Well, that's fine. So he's got regen, he's got shell, he's got haste, and he... How far is Wiegraf going to move? Yeah, he moved from long range. Alright. We got to wait one more round. Unless I can, like, throw a rock and insta-kill him or something. Which I realistically probably could. Okay, I'm going to go Nameless Song one more time. Hopefully pick up Shell again. Equip new dagger. I mean, yeah, it's just a very long dagger. Okay, technically speaking, what I was originally going to go for is picking up the Earth Dagger, and then the Earth Close, and then just, like, stack Earth damage and whatever else. And then I just figured, screw it, whatever. We're just going to give him a friggin' sword. Whatever, this is a one-off situation. He's going to go right back to using a dagger after this. Okay, come on. There we go. Protect. That's fine. Alright, Wiegraf gets close. You dickhole. Okay. Alright, I'm going to quick save it here, because this will be the moment that I know whether or not, you know, we continue. Alright. Weird. I was going to say, does the game not know what to do now? You've improved, he says, after seeing this guy singing Glory Hammer so long that his stats exploded. But yeah. Technically speaking, this probably would have been achievable with one of the daggers, because the best one that he had, I think, was damage 8 or 10 or so, which, honestly, by this point, would still do about that much damage. Actually, that might have even been a better thing, because then he gets extra speed. By the way, is the sound alright? No, he turned into a goat. How dare you? Alright, now let's see if he actually scales up in level, or if he actually spawns in at the 20 that he started with. Because, yeah, he came in at, like, I think it was, like, level 25 or 26. He's level 40 now. From all that singing. Alright, so I believe we always get the first turn. So yeah, he had exactly enough movement to run all the way up here and just ice this guy. And then he's got re-raise. So there we go, one shot. Wow, they have way less health than I thought. Yeah, so he's got the re-raise, he's got that. And yeah, I believe he actually did spawn in at the level that we started at. So perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Alright, so that's two of these a-holes out of the way. So now we know that cheese. So now I just need those guys to survive. Oh, come on, don't do it. Don't be a terrible person. I might be sacrificing all these Rodans, which is fine. As long as Boko survives this, we're fine. Because there is a more than decent chance that that the Rodans are actually just fired after this anyway. Connection spotty. Aw. Well, hopefully that improves. So we're just going to go Spark. I want to ideally surround him with these and just keep using Spark over and over. Just, you know, to pretend that we use them. So there we go. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Wonderful. Then we'll send you over here. That should put all of them within spark range. Ramzu's going to go in and take out that last guy, hopefully do 999. Chicken's going to stay exactly where he is and kind of stand by for revives. I love how the chicken is 16, but Ramzu's 40. Yeah, he should have enough health to survive this, I would hope. Actually, out of curiosity... It's 182 damage with a rock. Oh, beautiful. So beautiful. You know what? Honestly, I'm thinking we just trap him right there. It's probably one. I don't think he can actually teleport at this point. Or just move over. Yeah, whatever. We'll just take this guy out. And just not have to worry about him. This fight should be a joke now. In fact, I probably could have just done this with the dagger. The only thing that I really needed was to keep going. Why is Rodan getting fired? Who's replacing them? They will be replaced with newer, better Rodans. So, the deal is, as far as I understand, they can spawn in within 2 levels of your main character. Or rather, up to the level of your main character. So, seeing as right now, you know, my main character went from 26 all the way up to 40, that is potentially an absolutely massive advantage for them to have. Bonk. Quick, be useful. Alright, whatever. They're just gonna go ahead and have a big ol' hippie circle over here. Since it's just gonna be a couple rounds of Ramza following him around. Rodan Mark IV, exactly. Alright, Velius. Oh yeah, I guess we couldn't trap him anyway. Yeah, they might just die here. The only revive I have is on Boko. So, as long as he survives, I'm alright. Yeah, Boko's gotta run. Bonk. Oh, you dick. Alright, fine. You do that impossible dodge then. Yep. Alright, well, you're gonna run away and heal yourself, I think. So yeah, the Rodans will die. Unless this guy has almost no health or something. And who's got time for healing? I'm gonna cheese the hell out of this later. No, Boko, run! Why did I bring you here? Okay, Boko might die too. Unless I take a turn every now and then to go sort out his problems. I mean, technically speaking, maybe none of them will die. Because I think he should only have like 4,000 health, so... that's doable. Oh, okay. Or he's just dead. Okay, that went from impossible to very, very easy very, very quickly. And he turned into a great ball. Does that means I has a Pokemans now? Does Aim Strike take precedent over Weapon and Arrow Guard? I believe so. I'm not sure. I have no idea, and unfortunately Cerabow is very busy today, so... none of that. Oh, by the way, guess what? Have did you ever see the post that Anna put up about It Stares Back? Ooh, look, fancy items. But if you haven't seen the post about that, you got okay to stream it, and just got the notice a few minutes ago. So yeah, doing that tomorrow. Alright, and then some plot happened, and I'm sure somebody cared, but that's fine. Oh my goodness! Stop slowing everything down with your plot. Got more nonsense to go break. And yeah, and then after that, I will go ahead and have a bit of a thing to go do. Namely, I got some studying to go do for my new job. It's gonna be actually getting back into normal life. That's weird. It's weird. It's been too long since I've off gigs, I'll say that much. Oh no, and then the church showed up. Nobody expected this. See, Hoopa what post? This was over on the Reddit. Basically, it's like a. It was described as like a 4K game set in like a, what's it, kind of like a Lovecraftian type of setting. It just looked really cool. It kind of looked like FTL meets like Sword of the Stars meets just a fever dream. Also, I love how he dropped the single most important item that they came there for. We need to collect all these rocks to get superpowers. Let me just drop it on the ground and leave it here. Who needs it? Or maybe Alma just runs off of RuneScape logic. Like, she got knocked out, so she dropped all of her items except for her most expensive ones. Except it's a quest item, so it has no value. Hopefully something exciting. Sales! I can actually do sales calls again. I know, it sounds like a weird thing to get excited for, but here's the thing. When it came to business, like, when it came to, like, you know, the actual talking to people part, I was good at that. When it came to the administrative stuff and all the, you know, the actual finding things, and not so much. And when it came to a solo business where I handled everything, it was bound to eventually bite me in the butt. There was just too much stuff for me to handle, you know. Anywho, so we just went ahead and just jumped up, 19 levels in a single fight? Sure, whatever. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. This is totally normal stuff that happens every day. Alright, so I think there's more stuff that happens now. I don't remember. So he is going to go ahead and switch over back to something else, like presumably a summoner. I forget if summoners can use knives. I think they can. I just want to give him more class stats, I guess. Can you use knife? Everyone can use knife. It is best friend knife. There you go. Have knife. And then he had a knife, and it was neat. Right, yeah, auto regen, definitely keeping that there. Move plus 2 is doing a pretty solid job. Don't really think I want him to fly so much. Not really sure why I picked it up, ultimately. Alright. Grab a save state right there, because I don't remember what happens here. It's been a minute. I don't remember jack what's going on here. So we'll just put 3 red ends and hope for the best. Oh, it's the roof. Oh, crap. Why's it gotta be the roof? Whatever. Man. Can we just leave these two alone? I mean... do we really care about Rafa and Malik? It's like... honestly... if there was the option for, like, would you like to piss off and just leave these two to their own devices? Like, yeah, they got us, it's fine. They're okay. No. And then he got chucked off a roof. He went splat. Alright, so all you gotta do with this fight is get one of them down to critical, and that is a massive pain in the rear. Now, unfortunately, the roof is on fire, man. We should have just set this roof on fire and skip this fight entirely. The problem is, I hope this fight doesn't scale up. Because in that case, I don't know what we're gonna do here. Oh, son of a dick biscuit. We are screwed. It did scale up. Well, good thing levels don't give resistances. Take note, PSP remake of Tactics Ogre. That would have been real nice to fix a lot of your problems. Alright. Alright. There's one and only one way that I see this playing out. Mass Revive. He goes for her, I hope. No, he's gonna be a douche. Alright, nothing too damaging. Alright. Oh, crap. Well. Alright, well, I might have screwed that up real good. So, here's the plan. You run up, self-destruct. Or just flame, I guess. Because, yeah, their health is much higher now. Alright, yeah, I need 4 flame attacks on her. Possibly only 3, but it's unclear. Alright. That move is some bull. Why do they even have the attack option when they've got an instant death move? Who knows? Alright. So let's move you over here. I'm not sure what her actual attack power is, but... Oh, 143. Okay, that might crit. But there we go. That might be the end of the fight. Yeah, it is. Oh, there we go. Good. Good. See, this is one reason that's, like, so many of the breaks in FFT, like, and even the, like, or rather, when the game rebalances to deal with its many broken systems, that, it still works. Like, that was the issue that created the kind of, like, walls, when the TO remake happened, because they had so many cases where the game would rebalance itself in order to try and overcome cheese, except then it would balance way too hard. It's like I saw there was a post from a guy just this last week wherein he had reached the 30 wall, which is not actually level 30. It's basically, it's closer to like 27, 28-ish. It varies based on the battle, but there's just basically this point where once you reach that level, certain battles will start scaling up to such a degree that you physically can do no damage. It doesn't matter how good those characters are, unless you've gone and min-maxed all of them to some absurd degree, or you've trained them as like 7 or 8 different classes and actually gotten up to that same level with them, they physically will not be able to do it. But then once you do those things, then there's no challenge whatsoever, and you can literally just leave it on autopilot. Like I said, right now, like I literally was making that the guide for cheesing it for anyone that actually somehow has missed it up to this point. And yeah, they're just sitting there, like while my Vita's plugged in, just like sitting there auto sniping like undead dragons for a while. Because eventually, even like mega tanks of advanced dragon classes that immediately come back to life, even they don't have enough to health or defense to possibly survive the sheer DPS that they put out. It gets retarded. Ooh. Yeah, sorry for the random awkward pause there. But yeah, waiting for the cutscene to finish, and new job's looking promising. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just got offered a bunch of potential other stuff. Guess I must have made a good impression during the testing phase. Cause got to run through some got put through the paces, as it were, today, and must have gone well. All right. So a cool thing at leaving it right here, by the way, is apparently chapters 3 and 4 are actually getting yeah, because this should be Act 3, right? Do you want Rafa? No. Do you want Malik? No. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Anyway, do you want to save, though? Yes. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save it right there. But yeah, what was I getting at here? Oh yeah, but yeah, I was getting tested in my ability to call people. And I'm a little rusty, but I guess I still got it. No, I told you people to piss off. But they were crushed by something really powerful. We apparently missed all the freaking super demons that were here. Alright. Somebody to love. Do you know they like Queen yet? No? They like Queen. Alright. So, let's see what we're doing here for this next chapter. No. Plot, go away. That's a bad plot. Getting in the way of going and breaking more things. But yeah, so tomorrow, like I was trying to get at, is we're doing It Stares Back. So I don't know what it is. I'll try to... Like, I've got some work stuff to study, but like as soon as I'm done studying that, I'm going to try to learn It Stares Back a bit. Actually, I'm still... what do you think? What do you think? Go into it totally blind, or just kind of learn a little bit and try to figure it out? You know, I think I'll launch it and go through a tutorial, see if there's a tutorial in there right now. Just kind of learn the basics. Because I know to kind of get ready for getting back into 4X games, I was breaking out some Sword of the Stars recently. Man, that game's fun. It makes no sense, but I love it. Okay, so we've got Totally Not Dorgaloa Pass over here. Bervenia, the Free City. Fina, then Ziltinia. Alright. So, now we'll do that thing where everybody gets fired. Not these three. They've been around for ages now. Rodan 2019. You will get replaced. Radon and Burnt Rodan. I know you've also been around a hot minute, but god, your level sucks. Biolante 003. We'll see. Okay, so now we just go ahead and just fly across the map. Just go way out there, really. And by the way, we will likely be doing Deep Dungeon. I still haven't fully decided on that. I guess I'll see what feedback's looking like. So now they should be able to level up all the way up to 40, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I'm kind of amazed that that entire trip only netted us one of those. Fine, I guess we'll travel all the way across the country again. We'll just go ahead and pull a Forrest Gump here for a little while. Just run across the country, get a pretty epic beard going. Yeah, remove you. And again, they might be limited to their parent, actually. That was a weird visual bug for just a moment there. Nope. I mean, you're a higher level, I suppose. Yeah, there's a decent possibility that they actually... Wait a minute. Yeah! Look at that! Alright, so first of all, that's our first one. That's gonna be Mega Rodan. Man, that's looking... It's a pretty sexily high level right there. Now, I don't believe the game will fully scale them up to that same level. I know they scale after a certain point. The funny part is, the reason that scaling works in this, but it doesn't working the PSP remake of Tactics Ogre. It's just because, apparently for this one it'll actually create new units. For that one, they individually placed every single one in the game, despite the fact that there's like friggin' 10,000 battles or whatever. Yeah, that was a great investment of time. I don't know why they would do it that way. I'm still baffled by that. I haven't even heard from, hope Rakes is doing okay. I should check in on Rakes. Hope he's doing alright. Alright, do we got any new Mega Beast Rodans? Not yet. But if I could get a really tanky Biolante, that'd be amazing. And yeah, I think, actually, tomorrow should be one of the free mornings, so I've been given homework to study up on. Got my my work stuff for later in the afternoon, but should be pretty well possible to do a morning stream tomorrow. Right, that one's just like a lame old, exactly the same level we've already got, so that's not gonna work. Okay, Marineus, we can get rid of. Man, I'm so glad this worked out. Yeah, you know what? If the game doesn't scale up, I'm probably gonna leave Ramza in one of these fights to go all the way to max level. Just like launch him like out of a friggin' XP catapult. Just leave him sitting there dancing forever. Alright, we'll get rid of this miserable bastard. Get rid of this. Chuck that in the dumpster. Get your tier 2 crap out of here. Need only tier 3s. Like, personally speaking, I would... I understand the logic of it, but I would kind of like to see... I don't know, kind of like to see tier 2s as kind of a side grade, even though they take a little bit of extra effort to get. Not sure. Oh, you're 13. Well, aren't you adorable? Let's go ahead and drop you off at daycare. Move on to some actually useful units. Being rude to fireballs. The run. Alright, any new ones? Nothing there. Come on, Biolantes. Get busy. Get busy with all those dang tentacles. Alright. Beep beep burp. You know, I wonder whatever possibly possessed them to give that nice little power drill sound to get to firing somebody. Anybody else ever wondered about that? It's like, oh, you're fired, go work at Home Depot. Just like hands them a power drill. It's like, this crap costs way too much. Go return it for store credit. Though I will say, back for my rehab days and all that. Not to kind of clarify, rehabbing is in like rehabbing properties, not rehab is in like having a drug problem. But back in those days, I have to say it is surprising how much stuff Home Depot will actually just like take back without any question. It's almost you almost got to worry for how exactly they're doing that. Because there were cases where it's like, okay, this thing was open and clearly partially used, and because like to give a little bit of background on that, like I was working on rehabbing a property and all that kind of thing, and so I was going back and forth and was leaving the supplies in the garage. This was back when I used to work with my mother a while ago, and so her crazy butt just basically decides to go and buy a bunch of random crap from Home Depot while drunk. Don't ask me why. He's like, takes the business card, runs down to Home Depot, just like buys a bunch of random crap. He's like, no, I'm gonna go and like just redo this entire room to have a hot tub in it. It's like, A, how? B, why? C, you know, how much friggin' gasoline did you chug? And yes, that happened before. Never underestimate what a alcoholic will actually drink. It's like, I swear, there's all kinds of stories that are like, oh man, you know, they would never do that kind of thing. Like, they're a reasonable person with a brain. Like, no. If somebody's got a problem, they got a problem. It's called a problem for a reason. And yeah, apparently you can somehow get drunk chugging gasoline. I mean, whatever does it for you, I guess. Any dang ways, though. So yeah, like going and, you know, there's some friggin' plaster just thrown on the wall. All this other crap, so bringing all this drywall and plaster and stuff back there, like, okay, I'm not sure what your policy is on this, but I had a relative that kind of got drunk and decided to rehab an entire room, so hopefully you'll take this stuff back. They're like, yeah, this happens more often than you'd think, which is possibly more concerning than it should, you know, than, more concerning than actually reassuring. So you taking a break from recording to eat lunch and check in. Please do not get drunk by chugging gasoline. Yes. I can safely attest that they were nearly entirely passed out for like 3 straight days. But yes, definitely no getting drunk off gasoline here. But what we did do is, you know, just sing until we flew all the way up to level 40. Title says Xenonauts. You gotta refresh that thing. Title does not say Xenonauts on my end. It is the FFT Cerabow mode. Yaha! Wait, what the hell? It seriously does say... What? Hang on. That's not right. That ain't right at all. Hang on. Yeah, category Xenonauts, that's supposed to be FFT. No wonder nobody was here. Yeah, I only got a little bit more time today, but, yeah, gotta get to studying for work and all that kind of thing. So he says FFT Monster Rod. Yeah, it was, the category that said Xenonauts. I don't know why that didn't update. Because I did put FFT right before starting this. That's the nice thing about Streamlabs. It, like, comes up with a little window of, like, here, just double-check all this stuff so it doesn't break for you, hopefully. And then it finds some other way to break creatively anyway. But, you know, at least they tried. They tried. So is FFT because of the thumbnail? Oh yeah, did you see somebody singing in place for well over an hour? And flying up 19 levels? Because then yes. Out of curiosity, how many SPs... Is he at 99999? No, but he got 3,200 experience out of that. Or no, that was all Heretic XP. There we go. Ooh, what the hell's Void Strike? Damages enemies and removes positive magic effect out of the void. Dude. Okay, you know what? I might actually get rid of Summoner for that. That's really, really good. Not to mention just having... Maybe I should just give him a broadsword. Kind of good enough. I don't know. We'll see. Thumbnail did have Ramza singing. I mean, he's a hell of a singer. I mean, he sang so hard he basically exploded Wiegraf in a single hit. So there's that. So you used to have a cookbook that taught you to make 10 low-sodium dishes with the power of the void. See, it depends on whether or not you've actually replaced that burnt-out light bulb in the oven. Sometimes you gotta cook within the power of the void. Sometimes you gotta do it. Alright, if you could stop giving me giant blue glowing balls, that'd be great, because I need to... Wait. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do right now is just basically re-roll all the monsters in there. I fired most of the Rodans, because they are now irrelevant, because now we can have Rodans with twice as much AP, or rather, twice as much HP, a ton more damage. Let's see, just how much is the difference, okay? So previously, Toasty Rodan was like our go-to. Yeah, that's 9 extra magic attack that they're getting. Like, holy crap. They are redonkulous. I say, with all the purple, it's natural to assume the voice tastes like grape, but it's really more of a blue raspberry. Interesting. Dude, speaking of raspberry, not speaking of black raspberry, no, was it black raspberry? There was this Amish yogurt, or like frozen yogurt place, that used to be nearby the church where I was a kid. So it was always the Sunday thing of getting dragged off to church and then begging to go to the Amish ice cream place, as they made the mistake of letting me go there once. And oh my goodness, black raspberry was the greatest goddamn thing I've ever tasted. I've never tasted ice cream that good ever again. And the next closest thing is this Michigan one that they make everywhere here. What the hell's it called? It's not tiramisu. Michigan amaretto. That's probably the closest I've tasted to how good that stuff is. Oh yeah, and there we go. There's all the people actually viewing stuff. It's suddenly gone up from 0 because it's not Xenonauts anymore. People look at it now. But yeah, no, if let's see, if there were a taste for the void, it would probably be vanilla, I would figure. It's just, it's vanilla. Alright, come on, give me some good fireballs. What's going on here? I mean, I want to get 3 good Rodans. I want to get at least one good Violante. And then I'd like to have an upgraded kitty, but realistically it's unlikely. Man. But truth be told... Oh, no. Forget the truth be told part. That's another story. Because basically I was just saying I was looking forward to Xenonauts on Friday. Or X Division on Friday, because somehow that mod just keeps getting better and better this run. I'm surprised. Like, we haven't... Okay. Not knocking on any wood, not saying how good the run's been going. It's been going alright. I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. But what I will say is the same thing that I've mentioned a few times now. Tomorrow we're doing a at least starting a new run of a new game that I was just given developer permission to stream. It's still in early access, I believe. But yeah, they said they want coverage, so coverage is gonna happen. I'm excited. So we're gonna do that. Say, presumably, if Gregor Mendel, the father of modern genetics, is correct, if you breed 2 blue raspberries and blue is a recessive trait, you could genetically engineer the flavor blue? The true taste of the void. Man. Theories are fun. Okay, so this kitty got upgraded. He's a high level. I'm gonna go ahead and keep him for the time being. I know he's not a petrification kitty, but it'll be alright. Also, I have to say, that's a funny bug. If you immediately go over to this, they don't have a face for a moment. So yeah, Tier 2 kitty, sure. I mean, it's acceptable. They've got their high accuracy move. They got a ranged move. It's not petrification by any means, but they could potentially be useful. They still ignore terrain, which is the main benefit of those guys. And it's a true taste of the void. Taste the rainbow, or lack thereof. Taste the opposite of the rainbow? Could possibly do that. Would say taste the void, but that honestly sounds like somebody's about to do some pretty unfortunate stuff, and we don't exactly want to get banned, so I'm not going to go down that particular road. Keep being paranoid that I'm actually going to get rid of one of my good units here. Also, now that we're in Chapter 4, I can probably go over there and do that whole thing where I get everybody stuck again. I might. So, how are you feeling today, Mr. Vale? Let's see. Blue raspberry is actually just a white bark raspberry, which turns purple when it ripens. I guess all modern genetics is a lie. Well, that's a dang disappointment. I would have thought it was part of the Fight Club. Part of the Berry Fight Club. It made so much more sense. They're just ridiculously bruised berries. Sounds like somebody got kicked on the balls. Never mind. Just ignore the things I say. They are likely to be done. Oh. For some reason, their name almost sounds like geriatrics, but Geretria. Got our first Mega Kitty. So, bye, King Caesar. We only need one of you. Alright, King Caesar. Or King Kaiser, I guess is we're supposed to pronounce it. Yeah, it's weird how that goes. Wait. Actually, screw it, we're just gonna call him Kaiser. That's fine. We'll pretend it's an Armored Core reference. Going okay here? Tired, I'm hoping to get 50 pages done. How are things? Very excited, because my, had my testing for my new job today. And apparently I must have made a good impression. Because was immediately offered additional benefits for other aspects of the job. Apparently seemed to do well on the sales calls and all that kind of thing. it feels like getting back into just like getting back into the swing of things. And I wasn't expecting to have that feeling, because again, like I used to do properties, I used to do all this stuff all the time, and I have a lot of knowledge on it. A bunch of technicalities just basically locked me out of doing what I knew, and it was one of those frustrating situations, not too dissimilar from, like, you know, you do a job, you're good at one aspect of that job, but then suddenly you're forced to take over other aspects. Those other aspects basically force you to be unable to do what you're actually good at. And yeah, so finally, after all was said and done, you know, feels good now. So I'm excited to get back into business again. It's not exactly the same as it was before, but even from what I've seen so far, like, I was skeptical at first when I saw it, and then all the tools were presented to me, all the, you know, went through all the tests and everything. Like, this is real. This is a thing that's happening. there's actual, you know, this is what I know. I didn't expect to see again. You know, like, hello, property is my old friend. Except now it's in a market that isn't literally currently on fire. Always interesting to see the surprised faces on folks when I describe when I would do you know, Detroit properties and things like that. And, like, you'd go over going through comps and everything else, and it's just like, okay, so just honest question: when you're looking at the school districts, is it safe to assume that those schools are actually still there, or do you need to double check that those schools actually still exist before, you know, going down that road? And it's like the look that I got was like, yeah, no, the schools do exist here. Like, okay, good, that was a Detroit problem then. Only Detroit problems. Which, again, I just want to clarify, they're making a good comeback. That city is really grown into something special again. Because, truth be told, I love that city. Parts of it might be an absolute and utter hellhole, but it's an underdog, you know? They went through so many years where just they were broke as hell, the city was corrupt as hell. Well, mostly the mayor and all that kind of thing. They kept having issues with people just being general jackholes all the time. Like, every Halloween, they had to have additional patrols, and people were constantly sitting behind their door because it just became a regular thing where every year on Halloween, you know, if you've heard of Devil's Night, basically they would just go out and start torching buildings. And so, yeah, typically buildings that weren't watched got burned down. Friggin' like clockwork. It was, not the greatest. I remember on more than one occasion, I was just given a job to basically patrol around the office at that point. It's like, oh, make sure nobody's coming in, because they might burn it. So don't get burned alive. Well, gee, thanks. Alright. We got our 3 Biolantes. We can continue on. I'm probably going to be wrapping up pretty soon here, because I do have to go study a bit. But we'll go ahead and do one more, just to kind of get that done real quick. Let's get these renamed. I need some Rodan names. Who's got some, I mean, let's see. One of them's definitely Apocalypse 1992. It's going to be the highest name here. And if anybody's somehow not heard that song by now, just like exclamation mark 1992. It's so stupid, but I love it. Where's my numbers? There we go. There we go. Alright, that one's already Mega Rodan. Got Damia. Let's see, Fire Rodan, Inflammable. Yes. I love it. I love it! There we go, Inflammable Rodan. Conflagration. Hot Speaker Tricks. Okay. You know what? I guess we'll name the cat that, because we need a second name that. It's the Hatzel. How the hell do I spell that again? Hatzagoptrix? I mean, this thing ignores height, so it might as well fly. No. Get to the right letter, please. There we go. And then Boko's gonna get renamed to Life Chicken. He's basically our backup reviver. Life Chicken! You know what? It's times like this that I'm really glad that I don't have a higher definition camera. Because now that summer's here, crap, it's getting warm. Say, I like inflammable because it means full of fire and flame, extremely like to explode, but people think it means non-flammable, so we can't use it on warning signs anymore. Well, this is true. This is true. I mean, hell, that applies to a lot of symbols. Like, it's depressing in a historical like, just general historical setting to go back and look at the whole swastika thing, because, dude, that thing was around for, like, what was it, like, friggin' 2,200 years or something, as a symbol of peace, and then, like, one doofus comes around, suddenly it's a symbol of the worst thing ever. Like, just, it took one guy. What the hell? That is life in a nutshell for you. All it takes is one stupid event, and suddenly everything's all wrong. Alright. Now, I believe this is a fart gas zone, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's this one. You shall not pass, they say. Well, that's adorable. Alright, so the main thing that I was told is that once we get up to this point, we are going to start reaching a point where human characters will start, yeah, okay, no. They don't have too much of a chance, I don't think. But their armor will start giving them enough health to be able to survive almost anything that we throw at them. But as we get into higher levels, then we can basically completely and utterly overcome that. What we're going to do here is we're going to go nameless. We're going to go fly on down here. No idea why I brought Petrification Kitty along, but we'll go ahead and use him anyway. I'll go ahead and go for a little bit of the old blaster here. Go up 2 and make that guy disappear. And apparently you can't do anything useful. Fantastic. That's nice. Brought you for a reason. I couldn't tell you why the hell this can't hit. Is it supposed to be line of sight? Oh, the guy... Okay, never mind. He's a fancy purple man. He's immune to petrification. Sure, why not? Kitty's not going to be having a good day here, as their main gimmick doesn't work. Yeah, in fact, I think the cats and Violante are going to start falling off pretty hard. Ow. Douche. Oh yeah, no, we're getting wrecked real good. Getting wrecked fantastically. Okay. First of all, I'd like this guy going, so yeah, we're definitely doing enough damage, though. We're not doing enough to two-shot anymore, but we might be able to fix that. So I think once the opportunity presents itself, we might just go max level at some point. Just kind of cheese the hell out of that. Yeah, that's going to be the kitty gone. I don't think there's really anything that this team can do at the moment. So what I need is more Biolantes. Or not Biolantes, more Rodons. Okay. That's not how I thought that was going to go. So in that case, I definitely should not focus on that. You know what? This is totally winnable. It's totally winnable. We're going to lose it right here. But yeah. We are going to abuse that that guy right there. Because technically all we need is to abuse infinite health and just have him continue spamming Ultima. And then just have him take out his own team. Because what I did there was going and rolling for revives, but that's not going to work. So yeah, I think what I need to do. Our problem is definitely the health to damage ratio, because it takes us about 50% more damage to take them out. It takes them about the same it's always taken to get us. So what I need to do is just basically, well, find a fight at some point and just literally spam Life Song over and over until he gets to max level. This is totally winnable. We're going to lose it, but it's totally winnable. Yes. Exactly. We're going to win it by winning it. Oh yeah? You think you're going to win when I'm going to go on boom? Yeah, what now? But yeah, so what I need to do here... Actually, no, I don't even need to do that. What I need to... Okay. I know, I'm going back and forth. I'm being a stuttery little psycho over here. What we need to do is use self-destruct. Same old self-destruct strategy as before. That's the thing. Other effects that actually harm health and everything else, they're annoying, but it looks like oil can still hit the Fancy Knights. So we might as well go for that, I suppose. And self-destruct should be able to hit in the 300s if we play our cards right. So there we go. Let's go ahead and reload this sucker and give it another go. Because HP is the Fireball's best weapon. Another nice thing would be to not use the friggin' cat. Because the cat is completely and utterly worthless in that fight. So we're going to give this one more go. Whatever way it goes, it goes. Of course, I'm an idiot and I just realized I never updated their equipment. So I guess that might be a thing too. And it's at this point in the game that I'm probably better off switching him out of Summoner. But he's got a good amount of health. Okay, well, I need to split them up. That's for sure. So I want 2 taking the bottom here. Don't want anybody piled up. So no piles. We're going to go ahead and fly on forward. I want them to stack up as much as possible. Get a self-destruct in there, get ROMs up there, use Life Song, keep everybody nice and alive. We then combine that with... we then combine that with the thing where I actually remember what I'm talking about. I hear those are pretty fantastic moments. But we want to combine that with Life Song. Basically have him up there next to one of the road ends. He can then use Blaze to follow up on the self-destruct. So we'll see if that's a possibility. Kind of on the fence as to whether or not to take that guy out. We can probably use that left one as a self-destructor. Actually, let's double check. Okay, so he's going for Dark Holy. That's going to be a single. I believe that's actually avoidable now. Let's see. There we go, Life Song. Got a good amount of range on that, so we'll go ahead and move him up to about here. There we go. See, like the male calculators, red overall aprons, and darkly share with a mohawk. It's like a Mr. T / Gordon Ramsay Super Mario cosplay gone right. Man, I cannot unsee that now. I mean, to be fair, Mario's been around for such a friggin' long time, he probably is just basically a sage of everything. Don't see why not. Oh, okay. If that one on the right potentially moves first, and then gets a self-destruct off on those two knights, and then I can follow up with a blaze from the left. Because that should have just enough range. Alright, come on, Evans. Oh, perfect. That's such a good self-destruct right there. Oh, Come on, give me the critical quick. You know you want to do it. Doesn't even matter. Okay. 396, 426. Okay, he's getting taken out one way or another. He's doing 300. He's doing 299 here. Oh, he can't get in range to get these three. Alright. I'm gonna go over here and take out these ones. Frickin' kaboom. Nice. And yeah, realistically, I don't want to waste any attacks. Because this guy's gonna blow through a bunch of his MP here, so I might as well finish off this sweet mother burnination. That guy's toast. Unless he blocks it, of course. Well, fine. You just be that way then. Just take away my fun. Just try and do friggin' 600 damage with a fireball. In fact... That'll do auto haste. Why do you... Oh, crap, I took one of the piss poor ones with me. Yeah, I might as well just have him wait. Yeah, he's just gonna waste that. That's gonna be a waste as well. Should have gone for the fairy, I think. Yeah, definitely starting with probably having him do fairy instead of singing. Either fairy or last song for his first move. Definitely getting that stacked up self-destruct. Follow-up should go in for 1 KO. Also, I definitely want to actually bring the ones that have levels, because I kind of screwed that one up. I will say the calculator slash sage guy, that look always makes me think of the lead singer of Sabaton. Like, if you've ever seen that guy, just like tell me that you could make that guy with just a small palette swap. You could make that guy. It's like, take that look right there, and all he needs is like the apron to be silver. If the apron was silver and black, it would look exactly like him. Just, well, you need some sunglasses on him, but, you know, close enough, close enough. Here, I'll post a link just to show what I'm talking about here. There we go, copy image address. If I'd known the Rockstars get to pair silver and black overall aprons with a mohawk, might have taken a different career path. Not exactly. He has this like armor vest type situation. It's like basically mirrored plates slapped into what is basically like a Viking vest, I guess. It's unclear, but still works pretty well. All right, do we go for flame here? If we go for flame, not exactly gonna do it. Yeah, if we just go for a spark, that'll take out that guy without needing to move. There we go. He's gonna revive. Now, if you could stop doing Life Song and maybe get a turn at some point, you know, we could maybe get down to some business here. But no, he's gonna keep doing it. probably not seeing a win this time around. That's a pretty crazy jump score, though. So he'll move over there. I meant to have him turn to the right, but I didn't do it. But yeah, I think I will switch him over to Mercenary. Yeah, if I switch him to Mercenary, he'd be able to have armor now. He'd still have his revive. He'd lose the AoE revive, but he'd still have a single revive at least. He'd still get re-raises from singing, so that might not be such a bad move. What's your health at? Yeah, that would just do 108. Not really seeing the numbers coming together for this one. But yeah, we can at least do that. And one nice thing about the oil combo here is, like, right there, no matter how much health he gains back, oil almost negates re-raise. Because he'll come back, he'll go immediately for buffing himself or healing himself. Usually just, like, stumble on elsewhere as long as he doesn't have a kill that's immediately available. Yeah, there we go, that's the loss right there. As they physically do not have enough damage to pull this off still. Even if they all pulled together, if they knocked the big guy down to exactly 1 health, and then the last one somehow had a spark that would hit all of them at the same time, then yeah, that'd be a different story. Did the Liches and Luck wear a robe version of that apron, or am I misremembering? No, they had, it was basically like a hood and a couple layers of, like, a raggedy black and gray robe that turned into a carpet! Which, by the way, when I get time, I think I'm gonna replace one of the emotes with a GIF of that carpet. Actually, no, wait, I couldn't. I meant to do that a little while ago, but I couldn't because apparently I'm not allowed to have GIFs yet until 15 people subscribe. So that'll be exactly never. So, you know, there's always that. I think the highest it's ever gotten is 4, but apparently that needs to be at the same time. But anywho, I'm gonna have to wrap up for today. I know how to make this happen. So the next time that we have a Matsuno Day, I will go ahead and make that happen. But yeah, so thank you guys for stopping by. I know it's kind of an awkward random stop here, but you know, gotta get on with things. Gotta go be all employed and stuff for something other than gigs, so that's always nice. But yeah, so you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow, and yeah, we'll do that that new game that's in development tomorrow. So we'll be doing some It Stares Back. I'm excited. All right, take care, guys. Bye.